Joining me to unpack the market news is Tato Mashigo, a portfolio manager at Sanlam Private Wealth. Tato, thanks for joining me this afternoon. Big story of the day, the takeover by Dis-Chem of Baby City. Now, I was just giving it some thought while we were reading the news story there. I mean, I used to be a customer a very long time ago for my children, and I'd noticed that in recent years, when I wasn't a shopper there, it looked a little bit dowdy from the outside. What do you think the rationale is behind this deal for Dis-Chem?
Good afternoon, Chris. It is a very interesting acquisition, a nice bolt-on acquisition to add to the portfolio of Dis-Chem. As you mentioned, 433 million. Baby City's revenues, I believe, are around 855 million. So they bought at a fair price to sales multiple, so in terms of cost of the business. But I suppose what the acquisition can do for Dis-Chem, a few different things. One, they can move the supply chain of Baby City within the Dis-Chem fold under CJ distribution, so that can boost margins and volumes in their wholesale business, which they've been struggling to do. Another thing, they can introduce private label products into Baby City, and obviously those are higher margin. Some of the other products which are contracted to outside manufacturers. Another thing they could possibly do is introduce a loyalty card, a Dis-Chem loyalty card to Baby City customers. So that ties in your sort of loyalty and your repeat business with the customer. And possibly another area where there could be synergies is introducing mini pharmacies of Dis-Chem into Baby Cities, but it's more focused around prenatal and antenatal care. So these are some of the various things, I suppose, that Dis-Chem could do with the Baby City acquisition, as well as, of course, expanding the storefront and rolling out more stores, which obviously adds to top-line growth. In terms of its overall size, it's not massive in terms of Dis-Chem's life from a revenue perspective, but there's definitely a few benefits that the brand could get from this acquisition.
Well, you see the Dis-Chem share price there has had a bit of a spike on the news here, but it seems that Dis-Chem's on the march. It's quite an interesting company in the fact that it was created by about 20 odd years ago by a husband and wife who built it up from one store, and now it seems that at a time when perhaps they should be looking at retirement, then they're on the march. You know, I mean, everywhere I seem to go these days, people saying, "Oh, we've got a Dis-Chem card. Have you know, it's connected with the loyalty system is spreading out." Do you think they'll be looking for any other acquisitions?
It's possible, but as you know, with true entrepreneurs, they never do retire. They work until, I suppose, the end meets them in some way or another. And this is no different with the Dis-Chem founders and Baby City as well, founder-led business. So from a culture perspective, the two should work very well together. As far as Dis-Chem doing other acquisitions, it is possible. They can expand into other areas. If you look at Clicks, they also have quite a few non-pharmaceutical businesses within their fold. So perhaps Dis-Chem looking at that model and saying, well, perhaps this could work for us as well.
And just